Hey everybody, it's my birthday coming up and I wanted to treat myself a little bit. Now I've had an ultra wide 29-inch LG monitor, which you can see right there. But since I moved to my own custom PC, I'm missing the dual screen view that I used to have with my MacBook laptop and the ultra wide monitor. So in anticipation of my birthday, I got, bam, two 1800R curved Samsung 1080p monitors, and we're gonna unbox them right now. Just seeing through this, there's not too much. The controls are actually pretty straightforward. I don't know if you can see that. Actually quite consistent with my LG monitor. Just very easy one button control panel. In the bag, the three cables that come, two of them are related to the power cable that attach together. Pretty straightforward there, nothing out of the norm. And then obviously just an HDMI cable. So nothing really to note here. Where things get interesting is on the stand itself. And I have it boxed up here. It's a stand from, I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation, but HUANUO, I believe. Let me zoom in right here. This is kind of what it looks like, if you can see on the outside. Pretty straightforward stand. I had a lot of trouble putting another one together that looked a little bit more like a character from Spider-Man, the evil character in Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2. I can't remember his name. The octopus arms guy, the metal octopus arms guy. But this is a little bit more straightforward, so hopefully it'll be a little bit easier. I also have just a simple HDMI splitter cable, which is a very easy open. And I can show you how this works immediately. So this is the output, the single cable that goes into the computer. And then this is where one cable from each monitor goes into. And there's a switch. I don't fully understand how this works yet, the bidirectional switch. I guess it's from one source outputting to two different devices, or merging two devices into one source. That's my initial assumption. But let's get the stand unboxed and see what we have inside. This sits directly on the desk. I put the long pole into it. I don't need to drill into my desk or use the wire hole for my desk to mount this monitor. It can just sit right on top, which is a nice bonus to this stand. I'm definitely gonna need this based off my experiment with the last one. These can be a little bit tricky to assemble, but I think this one's much more straightforward than the octopus arms version. The octopus arms version that I had last week. Step 1.1 is getting this big pole into this mount. The directions are very detailed on this. I'm actually really pleased by it. Sometimes when you get things off Amazon, you know they're just coming straight from overseas. They can be a little bit difficult to understand, but these are really, really good. Step 1.1 complete. Next step, attaching the arms. Step 1.2, done. So easy. Wait, I got ahead of myself a little bit. Almost there. And 1 and 2. It is now time to move on to phase 2, attaching the Vesa plate back mount to the monitors. It's now time to mount the back plate. And I need to double check which side the top goes on. The top goes on the top. Who would have known? So one thing that's interesting with these is for curved monitors, you need to insert this little black piece and a longer screw. So I can show you what that process looks like here. All right, that guy is now locked in, and it's time to put the first out of 2 onto the mount. All right, so that didn't work. I thought the base was heavy enough to support one monitor at a time, but as you may have been able to see, it automatically just started tipping over to one side. So I'm gonna have to find a way to somehow mount 2 of these at once or request help from lovely Qali. Okay, step number 2, Qali's help.
Those are huge.
No, they're not. They're not that big. The initial first off-centered look. Moving on to phase 3 now. This is a pretty simple phase. Getting all of this wiring into there and then into the back of my computer and organizing a lot of wires that I already have, as my girlfriend Qali lets me know. After that, it's just simply removing some of this wrap, powering it on, and I'll give you a look at what the full setup looks like, including this little splitter and how it works running on Linux. Alrighty, here's a sneak peek at the final setup. You can see I have my PC in there, and I also have the split, the HDMI split here, the power boxes set up here. Cables are kind of a gong show right now, as you can see, but I wasn't too picky on making sure that they were perfect. I just want to get it set up, get it in, and turn it on for you to see. All right, it's the moment of truth. Let's power them on. I was really hoping that this was gonna work right off the bat, but unfortunately, it did not. Only one of the two monitors is connecting to my PC. So what I have to do now is shut her down, start it back up again, and we'll see what happens. Time to power on. Let's see if it comes through on both screens. Da-da-da. Maybe one screen. Alrighty. I couldn't get it to work, and it's not actually my fault. I went through some troubleshooting. The first thing I did was looking through Linux to see if there was anything on Ubuntu that I could try to solve that was potentially preventing this from working. I switched the NVIDIA GPU drivers down to the 435 version from the 440. That didn't work. It brought my resolution to like 600 pixels wide on the screen, so everything was super scrunched. I had to reboot, set it back to 440, reboot again, did some more troubleshooting. Then I just decided to plug a different computer in, plug a Mac in, and I realized that this tech hole, it's kind of an a-hole product because it says that it's an HDMI splitter, meaning that it can take input from one device and present it onto two screens, but it's not actually a true splitter because it can't present to two screens simultaneously. So this is what I get for buying the cheapest 4K splitter on Amazon. The cheapest splitter, all of them are 4K on Amazon. So I have to buy another one, and I'll be back in a day and we'll have this up in all of its gloriousness, and I'm very excited for that. Qali's hiccuping in the background, but I just got some Amazon stuff in, and I finally got the new tech hole HDMI splitter. Hopefully this is gonna work. I'm gonna plug it in. I have a new setup, not a new setup, but you've seen the setup. I have it all configured properly. Gonna plug it in and see if it works. All right, we have one monitor going, as I have had for the last couple days. I'm just about to plug in the final remaining power cord for this splitter, and I'm really hoping the second one will turn on. Let's see. Let's see what happens when we turn it on. I don't think that was on. There we go. Yes. Wow. There we go. They're mirroring right now, but when I get them not to, hopefully they're just as pretty. The struggle is continuing a little bit. I can't immediately figure out how to not make the monitors mirror and have two independent monitors. Hopefully I can quickly. I had to navigate out to Best Buy and got absolutely wrecked on the price of this cable, but it is what I needed This is the true authentic take, and you can see that I'm a little bit.
You're actually talking to me.
I'm actually talking to all my YouTube subscribers. And you can see that I am a noob in this still. Hopefully not for too much longer, in that I bought the wrong thing twice until I figured out how this all worked. And TLDR is that once you set up that splitters and switches do not work for dual monitors, at least in the way that I'm using them, where you want the display to stretch over the two screens and not be mirrored. And you need to have this cable to plug into a GPU. If you have a PC build where you have your HDMI plugged into the GPU, because the GPU will override the motherboard and that HDMI port. And you need to have an HDMI to DisplayPort cable to plug into an additional outlet in your GPU. Effectively, everything needs to go through the GPU. That's why I needed this cable. I'm gonna unbox it. Hopefully this works. The Best Buy guy, I have to say, Best Buy guy at, what's it called? No, at Masonville in London, but when they're like the smart guys. What's it called? The Best Buy smart guys. I can't remember what's it called. The Geek Squad. The Geek Squatter, honestly, he helped me out. He was a good guy. I mean, they charged me twice as much for what this cable was worth, but he was still a nice guy helping me out. So thank you, Geek Squad. All right. Ooh. All right, time to reboot. And fingers crossed that it's gonna come through on both. Oh my gosh, there it is. Finally. Oh, this is a moment. This is what I've been waiting for. Look at that. Maybe. This has been an adventure. It's been an adventure. Shouldn't be this hard. But look at this. Look at how pretty that is. It's pretty, eh, Qali?
You talking about me?
Yeah, you're pretty too. But the monitors are the focal point of the video. There we are. All right, that's it. We're finally done. Thank you so much. We made it this far. I really appreciate you. I'm gonna be posting more videos, actually utilizing these monitors to do productive things and utilizing the PC that I built. If you haven't seen those videos, please check them out. See you next time.